The U.S. Constitution is wordy and hard to read straight through. Decoding it in plain English, section by section. Hello, I'm constitutional attorney Catherine Henry, and this is a continuation of our mini-series giving you the plain English translation of the U.S. Constitution. Now on to the amendments. Amendment 1, freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. The government cannot create a national religion or stop you from practicing your faith. It cannot censor your speech, block journalists or other media from reporting, prevent peaceful public gatherings, or stop you from demanding the government fix problems. Amendment 2, the right to bear arms. Because a trained citizen defense force is necessary to protect a free state, the government cannot take away the right of individual citizens to own and carry weapons. Amendment 3, quartering soldiers. The military cannot force you to house or feed soldiers in your private home during peacetime without your permission. Amendment 4, search and seizure. Police and other government officials cannot search you, your home, or your belongings, or take them without a reasonable suspicion of a law violation. All arrest warrants and search warrants must be supported by a statement showing probable cause that a law violation occurred, and that statement must be made under oath, explicitly identifying the place to be searched and the item or person to be seized. Amendment 5, grand juries, double jeopardy, silence, due process, and eminent domain. It is jam-packed of a lot of stuff. You cannot be tried for a serious federal crime unless a grand jury agrees there is enough evidence. You cannot be tried twice for the exact same crime, double jeopardy. You have the right to remain silent so you do not incriminate yourself, pleading the fifth. The government must follow fair, established legal rules, due process, before locking you up or taking your property, and if they take your land for public use, eminent domain, they must pay you a fair price for it. Amendment 6, rights of the accused. If accused of a crime, you have the right to a fast public trial with an unbiased jury from your community. You must be told what crime you're accused of. You have the right to look at and question the witnesses testifying against you, and you can force witnesses to show up in court to testify. And you have the right to a lawyer. Amendment 7, jury trials in civil cases. In most civil lawsuits, disputes between people or businesses over money or property rather than criminal charges, you have the right to demand a jury trial. Amendment 8, bail, fines, and cruel punishment. Courts cannot set bail that's excessive for the crime for which you're awaiting trial. And if you're found guilty, courts cannot impose excessive fines nor cruel or unusual punishments. Amendment 9, one of my other favorite parts of the Constitution. Non-enumerated rights of the people. Just because a specific right isn't explicitly written down in the Constitution does not mean citizens don't have it. Rather, the people retain all our rights, whether identified specifically in the Constitution or not. Amendment 10, powers reserved to the states and the people. If the Constitution does not explicitly grant a specific power to the federal government, and does not explicitly ban states from doing it, that power belongs entirely to the individual state governments or to the citizens themselves. Amendment 11, lawsuits against states. Citizens from one state or citizens from a foreign country cannot sue a different state in federal court. Amendment 12, presidential election mechanics. This amendment changes how the Electoral College votes. Instead of the runner-up for president automatically becoming the vice president, electors must cast completely separate ballots for president and vice president to avoid political rivals trapping themselves in the same office. Also, the president and vice president must be from different states. One must be eligible to serve as president in order to serve as vice president. Amendment 13, Abolition of Slavery. Slavery and forced labor are permanently outlawed across the entire U.S., except as a legal punishment for someone who has been formally convicted of a crime. Amendment 14, Citizenship Rights, Equal Protection, and Due Process. Anyone born or legally naturalized in the U.S. and subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. is a citizen. State governments are prohibited from passing laws that take away a citizen's fundamental rights. States must provide every person due process and equal protection under the law. Amendment 14, Section 2. Representation in Congress for each state is based on the number of all male citizens 21 years or older, excluding Indians not taxed, meaning that they live entirely on tribal land. Article 14, Section 3. All state and federal government officials are required to take an oath of office to defend the U.S. Constitution, as explained in Article 6. If a person takes that oath, then engages in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. or helps its enemies, he or she is no longer eligible to hold any civil or military office for any state or federal government. Amendment 14, Section 4. Both the states and the federal government are prohibited from paying money to aid the insurrection or rebellion of the U.S. or for any loss from slaves emancipated. Amendment 14, Section 5. Congress has the power to make laws to enforce the sections in 1 through 4 of this amendment. Make sure to check out the other videos in this mini-series, as well as our U.S. Constitution Starter Series and our upcoming U.S. Constitution Advanced Series.